2024 is almost going to end and standing dumbbell lateral raises is not an optimal exercise now. The sole reason being the standing dumbbell lateral raises does not load the middle deltoids in the most lengthened position, thanks to the concept of torque, moment arms, line of force, and the goddamn biomechanics of the exercise. But the fun fact is that millions of gym dudes with no knowledge about biomechanics and exercise science have developed massive side deltoids just by doing a regular standing dumbbell lateral raise. A lot of research has been published in support of stress-mediated hypertrophy. That is the sole reason why they are telling that dumbbell lateral raises is a piece of shit exercise. But I personally feel that dumbbell lateral raises are amazing. I agree to the fact that it does not load your middle deltoids in the most lengthened position, but it does load your middle deltoids in the middle to the shortened range. Fun fact, the entire deltoid has 7 heads. A1, A2, A3, M1, P1, P2, P3. But this knowledge for a regular gym bro seems to be useless, as well as the knowledge about biomechanics, the moment arms, the torque, the physics, and your exercise science. All they do, they go to the gym, they take a pair of dumbbells and perform dumbbell lateral raises, and they tend to develop big side delts. I'm again telling that dumbbell lateral raises are amazing, but the standing dumbbell lateral raise version has a lot of limitations. First, people tend to ego lift on this exercise with incorrect lifting form. They grab heavy dumbbells, they gather all their ego and perform exercise something like this. When you perform any exercise with a lot of body English, there is increased fatigue on your axial spine. In simple layman terms, your lower back gets more tired rather than the target muscle. A simple fix to perform the dumbbell lateral raises with the more strict form is to perform it seated. This way. The wall is hindering me, so I had to go back. This is how you perform the seated dumbbell lateral raise. As simple as that. Now you are minimizing the fatigue on your lower back and you're performing the exercise with strict form. Hence, you're stimulating your middle deltoids more. But again, the seated dumbbell lateral raise does not load the middle deltoids in the most lengthened position because the line of force directly passes through the axis of rotation. Hence, the moment arm is 0. Hence, the torque is 0. If you're bored with the standing and the seated versions of the dumbbell lateral raise, you can perform a leaning dumbbell lateral raise. This exercise increases the range of motion. It loads the middle deltoids under a greater stretch. But again, in the most lengthened position, the moment arm is 0. Yet, this is an amazing exercise. The leaning dumbbell lateral raise helps you perform the exercise with a strict form, and it stretches the middle deltoids more under load. As people have become more educated, they have found out more fancy exercises for the side deltoids. One version that you can see is a person lies down and he performs the dumbbell lateral raise. But what's the use of performing a dumbbell lateral raise by lying down? What I said was a person is lying down like this. You can see that the line of force is going down like this and the shoulder axis is here. So there is a significant moment arm. People perform the lying dumbbell lateral raise because it loads the middle deltoids under a stress position. As we all know, the stress position is the most hypertrophic part of any exercise. That is what research says. But guys, you need to consider the clinical evidence. There are millions of gym bros who have developed massive deltoids by just sticking to regular dumbbell lateral raise, whether it's standing or seated. A 5-week or a 10-week study on some recreational lifters doesn't prove that, oh, dumbbell lateral raises are a piece of shit exercise. There is not a single research paper that shows that, oh, this guy trained for 5 years under these circumstances and he grew a ton of muscle. There is no study on this. Do your goddamn standing dumbbell lateral raises. Do your goddamn seated dumbbell lateral raises. And for variety, you can add in a cable lateral raise just to bias the stress position. You do not need to do all those fancy lying down dumbbell lateral raise and all. You do not need it. Just stick to the basics, master the form, and be consistent. I hope this message sinks in, and until then, peace out.
देखिए, एक तो बेसिक ट्रिक है, एक तो लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए महाकाल का, दबाकर लाइक और शेयर ठोक दीजिए, 5000 लौटे दिख जाना चाहिए। ये 4000 के लिए मैं यहाँ पे नहीं खड़ा हूँ, पूरा साल मेहनत करता हूँ आपके लिए बेटा। ऐसा नहीं चलेगा, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। लाइक ठोकी दबा के, लाइक ठोकिए। यहाँ पे देखिए, ऐसा क्वेश्चन चुटकी बजाते